I'm Podkane, and this is a love reading for Venus in Gemini. And if you don't know what your Venus sign is, I invite you to take a look at the description. I've got a link to get your full natal chart, including all of your planet placements, including the subject for today, Venus. And then come back here and watch your relevant reading. So having said that, this is a reading called You and I, and it's like a monthly overview of what's going on in your love life. It's meant for couples, people in romantic relationships, people, exes even, but definitely geared more towards couples. And it's 15 card reading. Shouldn't take too much of your time, but I do ramble according to some people in my life. I got a lot of shit to say. What can I say? So, 3 decks here. First, we're going to start with what's the vibe for a vibe check. Then we're going to do the 15 card reading with the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And finally, we're going to get some advice from the Success deck. So let's go ahead and get started. Hope y'all are having a good summer so far. June just started as I'm recording this. And we have masked, hiding, concealing, and deception. Okay. I mean, this deck doesn't pull punches. It can talk about some very extreme things, but the energy's still there, right? So some degree of this could be happening for you and your partner right now. And we're just going to get into it and see what it is. Venus in Gemini. Venus in Gemini, month of June. Get our You and I reading. And now I've done this reading a couple times for Aries and Taurus, so I'm starting to get the hang of it. I did design the reading myself. That doesn't mean I know what the hell's going on necessarily. It's one of the quirky things is that sometimes the cards will show up like, well, you said this, but this is what we mean by that. And you kind of just figure out what it's trying to tell you as you go. Could be frustrating to some, but I guess I'm open to being wrong, so I can just, I don't know, I can live with it. I can have fun with it for sure. So first card for you. Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful for you. For them. And the issue at hand. Okay. I'll get the rest of these cards out and then we'll discuss. And if you haven't watched my rising sign video for June yet, I invite you to go and check that out. Of course, you are going to need your exact time of birth in your birth chart to know what your rising sign is. So if you don't have that, most people can find it on their birth certificate. And it's got a crap ton of information in it. It took me a long time to do all of those readings, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely enjoying doing video readings so far. Oh, that definitely wanted to come out there. $13. What? Last card. Oh. Okay. No wonder that didn't want to come out. We'll get to that. That's literally going to be like the last card that we read, though, so you're going to have some patience. Okay, so this side of the reading are your cards, and this side of the reading is your person's cards. So we have you here, they are here, and the issue is there in the center. All right. So you show up as the Nine of Cups, the wish card, wish fulfillment, everything lovely, everything rosy. Dreams have come true. So proud of what we have in our lives. Very appreciative, very fulfilled. And then 10 of Wands reversed, the burden not worth having. Wow, it couldn't be more different. For them right now, they feel like something in their relationship is a burden. It's burdening to them. They feel like they're carrying the load of something that they don't want anymore. Maybe they never wanted, and they want to offload it. They want to drop those wands and just move on to greener pastures or somewhere else or on to something else. Very different cards there. So let's hopefully get y'all some answers there. For the issue, there's the Three of Wands and the Eight of Wands reversed. Three of Wands is about waiting for your ship to come in. It's about having made plans and now you're waiting for that to come to fruition. It's about waiting to receive a message, and especially that because the Eight of Wands is messaging and it's reversed. So the issue is that someone is waiting to hear something from someone else, but they're not speaking. They're not talking about it. They're not communicating for whatever reason. And this breakdown in communication is at the center of the issue going on right now. So first, we're going to look at what you want versus what they want. And this is more about, I learned in the last reading, it has just as much to do with what you want from them as what you want out of the relationship. So for you, it's the Emperor reversed. In this circumstance, I'm thinking you don't want them to play dad or authority figure or boss or anything like that. You want them to drop the control issues or drop the having to be the leader or orchestrate things, plan things out, tell people what to do, tell you what to do. You're not looking for that. You want them to let go of the need to lead a situation or be even to be controlling or demanding. And what they want is the Eight of Cups reversed. This is kind of saying like, come back home, return to something that was emotionally fulfilling, that was good. It's kind of like going back on I keep thinking like a breakup or something, like go back to the ex or something. If it's true for you, I don't know, but like it's that kind of energy of like it used to be good in the past and I want to go back to that. With the Eight of Cups reversed. And they may want you to, maybe you drew a line in the sand and you said, we're not going to do things this way anymore. And they're kind of like, can we just go back and do things this way some more? They may be wanting you to return to an old way of behavior, especially as it pertains to emotions. So maybe the amount of time that you spend together, things that you would do together that were emotionally fulfilling, you may have walked away from, but your person is wanting to return to that. So next we have your fears, and we have the Hangman. This is just afraid of being alone, afraid of not being in the mix of having experiences with other people. This is also a fear of martyring yourself, of doing too much for someone who's not returning the favor. It also can be if you're going within. If there's some worries or concerns and you're not willing to allow yourself to think too deeply on it because you're afraid of what conclusions that could lead you to. That could be something you're struggling with right now in terms of this relationship. And what they're afraid of, doing the same thing again, doing something I've repeated over and over again. I've been here before. I've done this before. I don't want to do this again. I already know how this goes. There's definitely a fear of the past coming back to happen again with this person. I'm already feeling like this person has some trauma related to like cheating or infidelity or maybe even abuse, someone like treating them poorly. Okay. We'll see. Next we have how you see them, with the judgment reversed. I mean, you're feeling like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They may not have recognized something. That's it. That's really it. You feel like there's something that's right in front of their face that they just haven't seen. They haven't come to a realization that is right there and it needs to happen, and they're just not getting it. They haven't come to that reckoning moment of like, oh, that's why I've been acting this way. Oh, that's why I've been pushing you away, or I've been trying to go back to old people, or I haven't been communicating, or whatever it is. It's because of this, and you know it, but you're wondering why they can't see it, and how they see you with the Nine of Wands upright. I mean, they see you as someone who has been hurt before, but you're stronger now. You may have very strong boundaries as well. And I know I already mentioned that as a coincidence, but here it is. You set a boundary for some reason, and that's on their mind right now. Like, they're just like, I'm not going to be allowed to continue to do what I was doing, or I'm not going to be, they're not going to be okay with me calling all the shots and trying to control everything and giving out orders. That doesn't work with them. And therefore, I don't know what to do. It's like, this person, you, Gemini, you've got this wall up when it comes to this matter, and they're pretty certain that you're not letting up. Next is how you can support them, and we have the Hierophant. This is suggesting that you need to learn about what is going on with them. There's something that there's something in their background. And I mean, you're here doing it right now, so good for you. But like, there's something in their background that is causing them to behave the way that they are. Could be some kind of trauma, or who knows. And you need to gain an understanding on that, to be able to be supportive for them. If you understood what they've been through, how their brain has been wired to protect themselves in this certain way because of what they've experienced, and you validated that through saying, I know, I understand, that would do them a world of wonder. Like, they would really benefit greatly from that. Additionally, this is also the card of tradition, commitments, marriage even. Not suggesting you get down on the knee or anything like that if you're not already married, but it's saying there may be something in them that is very nourished by their concept, which is important, their concept of traditional roles. And so that's where the learning can come into place of like, well, how was your family structure? Like, what were the roles of your parents growing up? Or like, what's traditional to you? What's a safe place of a safe hierarchy? especially with this emperor, I feel like they're very comfortable with this sort of hierarchy where everybody knows their place and their job and their duty, and they know what they need to do. And for you, Venus Gemini, that may be not something you normally gravitate to, and not exactly your value. You may value things to be free and flexible. Your person right now is needing more definition, defined roles in the situation to feel supported. What you can ask for support from them. We have the Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Wands reversed. Okay. Either this is a couple that's particularly toxic that you're going to ask them to get them the F out of y'all's life. Because they are not helping with this situation. These two cards are so similar. King of Wands reverse, the Emperor reverse. This is like giving narcissist. It's giving control freak. It's giving insecure, drama mama, like big problems. And there's this couple here for some of you that are having an absolutely horrible influence on your person. Or talking about insecurities, talking about needs of control, empathizing with those things that your partner may be experiencing because they I think you're asking for support from them. And with these two cards, it's just like, I want to lay it out on the table how insecurities and fears are the source of all of this. And just really come to terms with how you've experienced them in your lifetime. You understand where they come from, either directly or through friends or family and people that you've known. And so when you can speak to them and say, here's how I think it's going because this is how I've seen it happen. And I need you to talk with me about it because this is the basis of all of these issues of you kind of breaking boundaries, wanting to have control, wanting to return to something that was frankly toxic. That's this card. I want to return to something that's toxic. That's, this is a burden that's not worth having. Like, you really believe that? I mean, why is it so burdening? And it's because your emotional security is lacking, and a relationship will challenge that 100% of the time. And for you to feel supported, you want to lay that out on the table and just like, can we actually talk about what is driving this whole freaking situation? But if you're one of those people that it's actually a couple that's in their life, you're like, can we please just not hang out with them? Can we not see them? Can you, and here's why, of course. Like, I feel your person may be quite defensive, however. Okay. So next, with the 12, what you're learning, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups, you're learning about relationships. Duh. Okay. What else? The 2 of Cups is about 2 very different people coming together and sharing their strengths to compensate for each other's weaknesses. They're exchanging values, exchanging perspectives, exchanging backgrounds and worldviews. There's always going to inevitably be some similarities and things that immediately click, but there's always going to be differences too. There is no relationship without differences. If you study astrology at all, you'll see that when 2 people have like all water signs and everything goes together perfectly, and like if you just go on the little meme website and it's like these signs make the perfect couples, and it's like whatever, like that's That's not real in astrology. That's some bunk shit from people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Um, Not saying I know everything, but I do know that you need friction, differences, and even things that might cause a couple to butt heads over because they have such different views or backgrounds or ways of behavior on the matter. You need that in a relationship to give it energy, to give it life. And if two people are exactly the same or so harmonious, there's no, first of all, there's no passion. Second of all, there's no energy to drive it forward or to justify it even being there. And third, you're just dating yourself. And who wants to do that? Like, yes, it gets tough when there's differences and those things need to be worked out, compromised on, adjusted for, especially like difference in communication style. So one person may like to just speak on it, like especially if there's a fight, like let's get it over with right away. Let's talk about it. Let's hash this out. I'm not going to bed mad. Let's do it. And then the other person is like, I'm not talking. I'm stepping away. In fact, I'm already down in my car and I'm driving off because I cannot be around you right now. Things like that can be very frustrating for both parties because one person's like, no, I'm holding you hostage till we figure this out. And the other person's like, I'm holding our relationship hostage while I go fucking settle and figure shit out and calm down. And you're going to just be like left in limbo, not knowing what the hell. So as I just described that, you're seeing both sides being very different, have perfectly legitimate reasons and perfectly legitimate fears and discomforts associated with the way that they approach things and how that's affected by the way their partner approaches them. And that's always going to be a thing in a relationship. And it can be incredibly rewarding when you recognize, okay, my partner is different from me in this way, and no longer assuming, and this applies to so many other relationships in your life too, and like just interactions with people, when you stop assuming that everyone thinks the same way you do. And it's a natural thought process. It's a natural instinctive assumption that I think people make. But the T is that it's just not the case. People have all different ways of relating to life and communicating and thinking and what blah, blah, blah. So that is something that you are learning through this relationship, is that your differences make you stronger because you add to each other's cup, and the way that they're strong, you may have weakness and vice versa. And it's navigating that by appreciation. You say, I know I'm not very good at this, but you are, and I really appreciate your assistance in helping me with, managing tasks, organization, communicating feelings, or whatever it may be. Appreciation shows your partner that you recognize that they're good at the thing that they're frustrated with you about, frankly. But it also reinforces in your own mind that this person is bringing something of value to the table, my table, and that I really appreciate them for who they are, because they are so skilled at this thing that I've never really got the hang of or don't understand or not very good at. And what are they learning in the situation? We have the 10 of Pentacles reversed. They're learning that the past is dead. Old things die and go away. They're also learning that sometimes you don't always have the support systems you may like. You might not always have the security, financial security you may like. And this is also a card of tradition. Again, like sometimes things don't look how you expect them to, how society sees them, I don't know how else to explain it. Like really it's letting go of a traditional mindset, letting go of a support system or a hierarchy really. Which is crazy because that's exactly, it's telling you like they'll feel supported if you at least offer them this, but they still need to learn that not all everything has its place. Some things are just fluid, and not everything needs to be part of a previously experienced traditional mindset. What society says is right. These things are I think they're learning that those things can be so incredibly limiting to fun and freedom and new experiences, and that there's really a lot rewarding to experience in life by letting go of what we already previously knew and being open to building something on a brand new foundation that other maybe no one in their life has ever done before, and certainly they haven't done before. So next we have what you're releasing. And we have the Three of Swords reversed along with the Nine of Swords. And that's, getting over heartbreak, getting over fears and anxieties about the future, overthinking, big time overthinking. It's like to stave off the new, to stave off the repetition of the heartbreak that you've already healed from, by the way, with it being reversed. There's all these like, it could be this, and then this will happen, and then this will happen, and then it's all gone to shit. And you're releasing that that concern with it having something to do with something you can control right off the jump, but also something that you can predict, something that's happened before. I don't think like it's not directly telling me what this person's problem is. It's saying that you're waiting on them to communicate with you. And that's kind of the answer to this whole issue for you, is that you don't know. And you need to listen and learn. You need to ask the right questions. Because I do think they want to talk with you, but I think because of the boundaries that you set, they don't know if it's a safe place anymore. And it might not be for them right now because you are already predicting the worst before it even happened. And so you're coming at it with that energy of like, oh, are you about to tell me that you're cheating on me? Oh, are you about to tell me that you don't love me anymore? Like, and that's like to the other person, to your person that feels accusatory. They're going to be put on a defense. And I think they are already very good at being defensive. And you got to let go of your concepts of what you think all this might be about. Because there's something else going on here, and only your partner is supposed to tell you, not me. That might not be the answer you wanted, but it's the answer I'm getting, baby. And then last we have what they're letting go of, what they're releasing. And we have the Lovers with the High Priestess reversed. And when I originally saw this, I was like, this is the last card. Oh my God, what is this? Of course I didn't want it to come out. But like, now that we've gone through the reading, I see more clearly like what they're actually afraid of. Because the Lovers is definitely a different card than the Two of Cups. The Lovers is actually about a choice. And a choice to connect with someone or to not connect with them, to continue with them or to not continue. And the High Priestess reversed is talking about being in the dark, not having access to intuition or knowing. And what they're releasing then with these two is that they won't always know where they're headed, and their choices may not turn out the way that they've hoped. But they have to let go of that chance, because otherwise they're paralyzed in fear, and they have such a need for control that it's because they want to know exactly what's going on. They want to have all the details before they make a decision. And this is a focus on the details at the expense of the situation, for sure. And so they have to let go of the need to have all the information before they can make a choice. They have to go on faith alone. They have to go on feeling alone. They have to throw some caution to the wind. And they have to know that things are never guaranteed, but that doesn't mean they're not worth pursuing, taking a chance on, for sure. So I really feel for you guys. I think that you are in a wonderful position to support your person through all of this, as it seems like they're really going through some tough stuff. I think that they, with this not wanting to communicate and masked, I think that they deeply care about your perception of them, and they want you in their life a lot. They may even have some fear of abandonment, but beyond that, they value you. And that's why they feel like if they told you how they felt, even though you're probably like, okay, yeah, let's figure that out. They think that if they told you how they felt, that you would be like, no, I'm not okay with this. I'm setting a boundary and you got to go. But I do think you know what's really going on with them to a certain extent. And talking about it will definitely help. But what your job is right now is to give them that level of security that they need by making a gesture that appeals to their security needs. And that as it relates to hierarchy, roles defined, and traditional relationships. And I know that's probably not your bag, Gemini Venus, but sometimes, a lot of times in love, to properly love someone, it's not just about, I like their energy, I like being around them, I like what they do for me. It's about willing to put yourself at a little bit of discomfort and a little bit of inconvenience, because doing so would so much more magnitude help the person that you care about. Go out of your way, make a compromise that you might not be too excited about, but you do it because that would build them up so much more and love them so much better than it would inconvenience or make your life any worse. It's a strange concept, and one that I learned about like 10 years into my relationship. So be easy on yourself if you haven't figured that one out quite yet. So having said all of that, we're going to get you some advice from the success cards. So get one card upright for Gemini Venus for their relationship. Accepting oneself. I'm going to take this one. Walk with joy. Okay. 9. Okay. I mean, right away, instead of reading this whole thing, since we have two, in nature, everything changes and we are part of nature. So be yourself and you will be free of all cares. Accepting oneself. The collective idea of progress is fueled by our never-ending desire to improve. But in actual fact, no improvement is possible in that each of us is already what he should be. Consequently, the path to true success involves relaxing and accepting what we are. If what you are is your nature, that is you. Interesting. I feel like this is definitely true for them, and I wonder if it's true for you as well. Like, if you're a free-flowing person who's kind of open to new experiences, and like you are happy in this relationship, and you are learning a lot about what relationships are. It's okay that you don't really like defined roles. How much do you love this person? And I know that sounds accusatory. It's always a choice. It's a choice. Staying in a relationship is a choice you make sometimes every day. Meeting them halfway with some of their needs gives them the security and the reassurance that they can then in turn meet you halfway with yours. And 35. This is a lot of the same message. The destination and the reason for reaching it are not important or necessary. What counts is to walk with joy. In this case, you cannot mistake the road. In life, only instants that emerge into the present exist. You do not have to go anywhere. You are already where you should be. Wow. It's like literally the same message. Like you are where you're supposed to be. And there's something very valuable for you to learn from this person and their struggles and what they're going through. Because you're both similarly like, they're afraid of a repeat of the past and yet they're desiring to go towards the past. And you're afraid of things that you already worked on, but you still are expecting them to come back up and to happen again. And there's the fear of like being alone and the fear of giving too much to the wrong person. And there's so much similarity with you two there. That's something that you could both really communicate about and share with each other and just say, yeah, I know I have the same fears too. And like, I at least know how it feels. And maybe right now you're not able to guarantee that I'll never hurt you, I'll never leave you, I'll never do this or that. But you can at least come to a greater understanding and sympathy with one another by acknowledging that a lot of your fears and a lot of the things that you've been through are very much the same. And then sharing how each of you has handled it and how that's impacted each of your lives. And you know, my argument for letting go of it, and now I'm free to have a 9 of Cups and to be very fulfilled and happy. Or my argument for taking control is that I, you know, can find out more information about what's going on, or you know, I can identify when something's burdening me. I don't know, you know, but like that, I don't feel like your person has as many good arguments here for this. But you need to listen regardless and approach it with a very open mind, because straight up saying your way of handling relationships is freaking trash is going to set off all the defense mechanisms that this person already has. Then they're not going to be in a place to listen. You listen first, because you are in a place to listen. And even be willing to try some of it. Because like, if you just say, no, that's not going to work, and I know because this, and this, that's still not an experience. That's knowledge. And experience is the best teacher. If you are willing, it's always your choice. But if you're willing to say, okay, we'll try that for a little bit. We'll try it your way for a little bit and just see how it goes. And have faith that your way has value. But also have faith that trying it their way could even potentially bring new value to your life and to your experience and the way you manage yourself in relationships that you didn't even know about. You've got to have an open mind even to their way being beneficial to you at this time. And that's where they're going to be able to feel safe enough to express that, try it out, not run from the situation because they don't feel safe, and then let things play out, because I think this person needs experience to teach them. That's where they're not getting it, is because they haven't had the opportunity to experience what they're trying to do. Judgment is from experience. Like that card comes up after you've actually been there, done that. There's no other way to gain a recognition that is so powerful that it changes your whole your whole perception of everything in your life. There is no other way to get to that point without direct experience. So if you're hoping for them to get it and see what you feel is right in front of their face, you need to create a safe space for them to have the experience that will allow them to come to that conclusion on their own. Because you can't lead them to it. Like, it'll never hit right. They're just gonna still have in the back of their heads, like, oh, well, my person told me that, like, it will never work that way. And so I guess we're just gonna do it their way, but I still think maybe it could. And like, whatever the matter is, like, you have to give them some space to explore that if you want to. So, well, that's all I have for you today, Gemini Venus, and I hope you enjoy that, got something useful out of it, and I'll see you here again next month. Bye.